Hey everyone, Steps here, and welcome back to VINTALIFESTYLE. The last time we talked, we spoke a little bit about my journey to self and the way that this YouTube channel is going to be flowing in. Now, granted, not every single video is going to be related to my journey to self, spirit, and my spiritual practices. There are still going to be some fun vlogs and fashion videos on there. But since we are going to be talking and touching on the subject of the journey to self and different spiritual practices that have helped me, I thought it would be a good idea to go ahead and show you guys the different items that I have in my altar. In hopes that if you guys feel inclined to go ahead and start on your own journey or start dabbling in your own spiritual practices, that you may have a starting point to refer back to so that you guys can build upon your altar. I want to make a disclaimer and start by saying that I am by no means necessarily an expert in this subject, okay? I just started a little over a year ago and I'm still learning. I still consider myself an amateur and a beginner, so please do not marry any of the ideas or things that I say in these videos. Just because I have these items in my altar does not mean that you guys have to have these items in your altar. Your altar is personalized and customized to you and what you resonate to the most. So yeah, this is just a starting point and hopefully a little bit of insight into the world of spiritual practices and spirituality for you guys. I started this spiritual journey, if you will, a little bit over a year ago when I first got here to New York. Don't get me wrong, I loved being here and I was so excited to be here, but I was also really far from what I knew. I was away from the people who I love, the place that I love, and I just was not in my element whatsoever, and I was in a funk. And in order to get over that funk, I decided to go ahead and start dabbling in spiritual practices in hopes of maybe getting over that funk. And thankfully, it did get me over that funk, and it has helped me in so many ways, in so many different aspects of my life. The first thing that I started with was spiritual healing crystals. Now, healing crystals, they act as amplifiers and transmitters of health, happiness, love, success, and prosperity. And they also help to enhance the home and the workplace with both energy and protection. If you see me looking down, it's because I have some little notes written down so that I'm able to provide you with real information and the right information. So yeah, please bear with me. Going back to the crystals, I'm going to be going over each crystal and what each crystal means and helps with. The first main thing that you need to get along with your crystals is a selenite plate. Now, it does not have to be as big as this. My first one was actually this little tiny one. Essentially what selenite is, I like to think of it as a charging plate for your crystals. Your crystals, you can carry them with you all day long to help you guys with whatever it is that you may need help with. And at the end of the day, place your crystals on the selenite plate and it acts as a charging station. It recharges your crystals with all the energy that you may need for the next time that you use them. Again, when you first start off and you get a few crystals, you do not need a huge one. That's why I got this little one. And I was able to fit 5 little crystals on here. Now we're going to be talking about the crystals themselves. Currently, I have 6 different crystals. I just added a new one and I originally started with 5. So the first 5 that I started with was Amethyst, and it's this pretty purple one. Get closer. I don't even know what it's like. It's not focusing, but you guys can see it. And amethyst is considered a stone used for cleansing, protection, and inspiration. It enhances intuition, spirituality, and meditation. So if you guys are trying to dabble into spirituality and meditation, or if you're just looking for a little bit of extra burst of inspiration in your life, amethyst is the way to go. The next crystal that I got was the green Aventurine, which looks like this. Okay. And this is considered the stone of opportunity, okay? It enhances prosperity and wealth. So if you're looking to add a little bit more abundance in the money department in your life, or a little bit more prosperity, this is the crystal to be carrying around with you. Granted, this is not going to mean that you're going to win the lottery in the next week. That's not gonna happen. Okay, I mean, if you set an intention and you work for it, maybe. The next crystal that I have in my collection is rose quartz, which may be a little bit more familiar to most of you guys. That's what it looks like. And this is considered the stone of the heart, okay? It enhances compassion, peace, tenderness, and healing. So if you're looking for a little bit extra compassion in your life, you're looking for peace, you're looking just to become more in touch with your softer feminine side, rose quartz is definitely one of the crystals that you need to have in your collection. Next in our collection we have red goldstone, and honestly it's one of my favorite stones because it's so pretty. Okay, I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it on the camera. It's not really focusing too much, but it is so pretty. It has these little flecks of gold in them. And this is considered the stone of confidence, okay? It enhances and amplifies the energy for motivation, drive, and vitality. This is the one that I used to carry around with me all the time in bracelet form. When you go to crystal shops, you will be able to find bracelets made of each of the crystals, and this is the one that I used to wear literally all the time, and it honestly did help me feel a lot more confident within myself. If you need a little bit of an extra boost in that department, definitely red goldstone is the way to go. The next crystal in our collection is another one that may be a little bit more familiar to most of you, and it's called clear quartz. Very simple, but it's one that I like to think as the most powerful, and it is considered the stone of power. Okay, it amplifies any kind of energy and intention and provides protection against negative energy. Okay, so any intention that you put out into the world or into the universe, this, and if you have this on you, this will amplify that intention. And then last but not least, my most recent addition to my collection of crystals is the orange calcite, and this one is my second favorite. This one is my second favorite next to the red goldstone, and the reason that it's my second favorite is because I was honestly just called to it. I was at the crystal shop looking at crystals, and for whatever reason this one called to me, and I wasn't familiar with orange calcite, to be honest with you, so I decided to go ahead and look it up. And funny enough, this crystal helps with integrating yourself with the spiritual realm. It enhances creativity and is helpful with emotional issues, which goes perfectly with the funk that I'm currently in and what I'm trying to currently overcome. So I felt like this was like a match made in heaven. It was fate for me to go ahead and pick this up. Therefore I did. Which brings me to my next point when it comes to crystals. If you are not sure what crystal to get or what exactly it is that you need help with, honestly, just go to the crystal shop, get a feel for the energy around the crystals, and just pick up different crystals. And whichever crystal you feel most inclined to get or feel like you resonate most with, that is the crystal that you should have. It shouldn't be a hard process, it should just come easily to you. So that's my best advice when it comes to picking crystals. That's how I picked the first 5 crystals, because I was brand new at this. I was like, I'm just gonna wing it, and honestly, I feel like that's the best way to go about it. And that is with anything that comes with spiritual practice. It has to be, or has to feel like it resonates with you. The next thing in my altar that we're going to be talking about is my tarot cards. Again, I am not an expert when it comes to pretty much anything in this. I am just learning and I am exploring different parts of it, and tarot happens to be one of my favorite parts of this whole thing. The thing about tarot decks as well like, again, I'm gonna keep repeating this throughout pretty much the whole entire video, is that you need to resonate with it. If you look at a tarot card deck and you look at the pictures, and the pictures for whatever reason feel heavy to you or negative, or you just don't like looking at it because it brings out a negative energy out of you, don't pick that deck, okay? You want to pick a deck that feels right for you. Another thing about tarot that I want to kind of make a disclaimer about: when you do tarot, you want to think about it as a blueprint or a guide for what may happen in the future. Go into tarot readings with an open mind, and don't get married to anything that is said. Okay, anything can change in a fraction of a second, and you decide your future, and that's the only thing that can decide your future. A lot of people get the heebie-jeebies when it comes to tarot cards, and they feel like, what if I hear something that I don't want to hear? It's gonna drive me crazy, and I'm just gonna be waiting for that to happen. Well, honey, if you don't want it to happen, you have the power to change what happens, okay? And you are the only person who has that power. So back to my tarot deck. So this is my tarot deck, and it's called Bad Bitches Tarot, okay? So you already know, like, I had to get something that kind of related to me and that I felt good actually looking at. So this is one of the tarot decks. I don't even know if you can see it, but it's the cutest tarot deck I've ever seen in my life, and it has helped me so much. I'm not going to get into the logistics of how to read tarot. I can do a video on that. Again, I'm not an expert, but I can show you guys how I do it. Today we're just showing off the deck and telling you guys where I got it. So the Bad Bitch Tarot, it is so cute. This is the back of them. I don't know if you can see it because of the light. And then each of them have super cute images on them that are so relatable. Just to give you guys like a little bit of an example of what the pictures look like. I don't know if you guys can see it clearly. Each of them have pictures of like bad bitches on there. And then it also comes with your Bad Bitch Tarot guidebook, which is essentially where you get all the meanings for every single one of the cards. So for example, here we have the Eight of Swords. It gives you the bare meaning of the card. It gives you the love meaning if you're asking about love. It gives you the business meaning if you're asking about something that has to do with any business ventures or anything like that. It gives you the bank, which has to do with money. So if you're asking about money problems or situations in your life, it'll give you a meaning that has to do with that. And it gives you the blocked. So blocked means when you pull a card and it comes out upside down. That's a whole nother story for another video, but just so that you guys can get an idea. And the way that it's worded and it's read, like, it's so relatable. Just to give you an example again, we have the Eight of Swords. Okay. We have the Five of Swords here, and it says, someone is being a bitch, and not a kick-ass bitch, but an actual hurtful bitch. Gossip, backstabbing, and being petty seems to be the theme in the moment, etc., etc., etc. It's just really relatable, and it just feels that much more every day and less scary. Yes, I got this on Amazon, and I am in love with my tarot deck. So the next thing that I have in my altar is this singing bowl. Honestly, one of my favorite things in the world, and it's been one of my favorite things in the world for a while. They have so many different benefits, okay? They relieve stress and anxiety, they lower blood pressure, improves blood flow and circulation, relieves pain in the body, and provides deep relaxation, among many other benefits on there, but this is just to name a few. Okay, and the way that this works is very simple and it's very soothing, at least to me. Okay, you go ahead and you hold it in your hand and you just tap and you rin and you just sit in that. While breathing in and breathing out. This can be done as many times as needed throughout the day. Honestly, me, whenever I feel like I'm starting to get anxious or just, need kind of a breather, I'll grab it and just take a moment. This is amazing for when you want to do meditation, again, when, like me, when you feel anxious, or right before you go to bed. Even if it's not an actual singing bowl, you can go on YouTube. There's literally so many different videos with different frequencies and different chakras that you can listen to that can help you out in whatever part of your life that you need. Next, in my altar, we like to carry around and keep with us a bundle of sage. Sage is just usually to cleanse the area around you, cleanse you, cleanse any kind of negative energy that may be in the presence of your home or workplace or wherever. I think it's very beneficial to have, even if you don't do yoga or meditate or do any kind of spiritual practice. Whenever you feel like your energy in your home is not right for whatever reason, maybe you had people in your home that you usually wouldn't have in your home, or just new people, you had a party and people came into your home that you don't really know. After the party, the day after, just go ahead and, you know, do a quick swift with sage, just so that in case any negative energies were brought into your home, they are banished and thrown out. The next and last part of my altar would be my book collection. The first two books that I started off with were these two. We have a little bit about auras and a little bit of crystals. Both of these are super short and easy read. A little bit about auras talks to you about the basics concerning auras, what they are, what it is, how to see them, how to interpret them, all that good stuff. And then the same with a little bit of crystals. It tells you the basics about crystals, what each crystal means, what energy is attached to each crystal, and how you can use them in your everyday life to better it. If you are ever in a bookstore and you see any of the little bit of collections, these are amazing to start off with. The next book that I got was this one. I am still currently reading, and it is by far my favorite book. It has helped me so much, like I can't even put it into words. It's called Raise Your Vibration, 111 Practices to Increase Your Spiritual Connection. I have no words for this book. This book has helped me so much, and every day it gives you a different vibe or lesson. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you probably have seen me post one or two vibes here and there. It gives you kind of a guide on how to go about your everyday. I'm just so thankful for this book because it has opened my eyes to so many different things, and if you are looking to venture a little bit more into spirituality, this is definitely one of the best books that you can read. Finally, I have my journal slash diary slash whatever, and I don't really stick to one way of like journaling. So I have some journal entries, like if it was like my diary. I also have some tarot readings and like what the message that I got from the tarot reading was. And I just like to go back to it whenever I just want to dump out any kind of gunk that I have in my head. I like to write it down in here. I don't journal every day. I probably should, but yeah, we're working on that, you know? And that's about it. Your altar does not need to be super complicated when you first start off by any means. And again, your altar is catered to you. So please take this with a grain of salt, okay? Don't think too hard about this. Whatever you feel drawn to and inclined to do, take that instinct and roll with it. And I promise you, you are going to come out more than okay. That wraps up this video and this show and tell of my altar. I hope you guys took away something from this video. If you did, please let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I'm sending you guys lots of love and light. Take care.